everybody laughing at, making fun of, ridiculing that woman who said she didn't know there was no medicine in prescription glasses. Y'all are missing the point. I actually really loved her video. I know there's a lot of people talking about how like, okay, it's showing her privilege because she doesn't have to wear glasses. She doesn't have to have ever bothered to learn how they work because she's so privileged to have perfect eyesight or whatever. No, you're missing the point.
Adult learning new things. Did you know that medicine is not in glasses? I have never worn prescription glasses a day in my life. I've always had 20/20 vision. A lot of the people in my family have and wear glasses. And they always say, oh my gosh, I got to get a new prescription. My medicine ran out and my glasses. Like medicine. I always hear medicine. No! Have you guys seen the eye doctor on here on TikTok who is explaining how glasses work? I am so fascinated. So essentially, eyeglasses are just glasses, like glass that is shaved down to meet the needs of your eyes. The glass is just shaved it convexly, or what's the opposite of convex? Concave, convex, or the opposite, whatever. Anyway, the glass is just shaved down in a particular measurement to fit the needs of your eyes. And of course, sunlight, the way light is, comes through that glass to your eyeball, all of that, like it's a science, okay? It's a science and it's math. That's the prescription, the shaving. The shaving is the prescription. I am blown away. And do you know when people like, I got to refill my prescription on my glasses? That just means that your eyes adjusted to that shaving. Your eyes, for over time, it becomes immune to it. Just like our eyes and our bodies become immune to other things. So your eyes is like, actually, I can't see out this glass anymore. It's been too long. So your eye doctor has to then give you a new prescription, aka shave the glass in a different way to meet the new needs of your new eyes or your current eyes that need new vision prescription. I'm so blown away.
Y'all missed the first thing out of her mouth and instead glommed on to the whole, I just learned there's no medicine in glasses. The first thing she said is, I love being an adult learning new things. That was 2 minutes of her talking with a sense of wonder of like, oh my gosh, I'm an adult and I still can learn new things. Like the world still has wonder. There are still fascinating things to discover. I loved her whole video, not only because she was like, holy shit, I didn't know this and this is so cool, but also because she was unafraid to be an adult on social media, getting up there in front of all of us and being like, y'all, I didn't know something that probably most people know. I have had this huge gap in my understanding about a very common, ordinary thing. And I'm not afraid to be like, holy shit, I didn't know. And now that I do, like, wow, this is super cool. Her sense of wonder and her ability to be like, hey, let's normalize having gaps in our knowledge. Everybody has gaps in their knowledge. A friend of mine is a medical doctor. She made it all the way through medical school and didn't know that New Jersey was a state. We don't know what we don't know. We all walk around with these gaps in our knowledge, but we're just unaware. We're oblivious because we're ignorant. Being ignorant is not a negative thing. It just means we lack understanding. We lack the knowledge. And so much of what happens on social media is people coming on here being like, I'm gonna school y'all about this. I'm an expert. I'm gonna tell you what's what. And the other side of that is this expectation that especially creators on social media will have perfect opinions, that we have to be right all of the time, that we cannot be flawed, we cannot be human, we cannot have wrong opinions, we cannot be ignorant. I know I've talked about this at length before, like the ability to just be like, wow, my bad. Wow, I really screwed up. Wow, that was a really bad take on my part. Or to be like, holy shit, I did not know enough to speak on this issue. And now that I am informed, I am going to change my mind. I'm going to update my opinion. All of that I wish could be normalized so much more on social media, because too many big creators have a tendency to double down, to have a bad take, to do something wrong, to speak in ignorance, and then to just double down on it. And we can all see what you're doing. We all know that Hassan zapped his dog. Let's not pretend something else happened. Like, we're all human beings, and sometimes we have bad takes, and sometimes we just don't know enough. Sometimes we're not our best selves. Yeah, sometimes there's a level of judgment that needs to be incurred when somebody says something harmful, but like this woman caused no harm, and at the same time, she actually did good. She tried to normalize the reality that we are human beings and that we have not been exposed to everything. Sure, we live in the information age. It doesn't mean that we don't have gaps in our knowledge and understanding. And I appreciated her video so much, because something that you or I might take for granted is like, of course this is a gift. Of course we all know about this, right? She didn't know at all. And she was not too proud to get up and be like, I didn't know. And you know what? Now that I have been informed, I have a sense of wonder about this subject. That's so cool that even as an adult, I can uncover new things. I can learn new things. Like, can we just destigmatize the fact that we all have gaps in our knowledge, that we can learn something as an adult that maybe we should have learned as a kid, but nobody taught us? And like, how honestly would we have acquired that information if it's something we don't particularly interface with? Or maybe we should have learned it and we just didn't. But let's destigmatize people finally figuring shit out when they reach adulthood. That any time after age 18, it is acceptable to fill in gaps in your learning. It is acceptable to reduce how ignorant you are. It is acceptable. It's a good thing to acquire knowledge and wisdom. Like, watching her get dragged on the internet, I was like, you guys, her video was great. Her video was fantastic. We need more of that. We need more of that on social media. I just learned this thing. It's super cool. I'm not ashamed to admit that I didn't know this before. And hey, maybe somebody out there would benefit from this information and share in this wonder with me. I don't know. I loved her video. I loved her video. I'm kind of sad that everybody's so down on her and being like, ugh, you're just so privileged with your perfect vision. And they missed the whole, wow, it's so great to learn new things as an adult.